So we're going to start off with seated shoulder press. Now, there's a hell of a lot of things that can actually go wrong when doing something as simple as this, okay? First of all, hand positioning. That's going to be a big one, okay? A lot of people, when they press, they start off with their hands inside of the elbows, similar to when you're doing a bench press. When you drive up and do this kind of a thing, you end up doing some kind of weird reverse tricep overhead extension thing. You don't want to be doing that, okay? Starting off, ideally in this position with the dumbbells on mouth level, hands above your elbows. Your hands should really be above your elbows throughout the whole movement, okay? So as you press, drive up, come up to the top. Don't smash the dumbbells together. Pause at this point, okay? And then slowly come down and bring it down to mouth level. If you bring it any lower to this point, you're just going to be resting, okay? For me, I could chill and sit here, just do this all day. You're not doing anything, you're giving your delts a rest. So pause here, and they're going to ensure that you're working the muscle throughout the entire set. Another thing you don't want to do, when you're pressing the dumbbells up above your head, you don't want to push your shoulders and try and lock your elbows out, so you kind of end up in this position. If you push and protract your shoulder, it's not going to do it any good. And if you come to the top of the movement and you actually lock out your elbow, all that's doing, that extra extension of your elbow, is just going to contract and shorten the tricep. It doesn't provide any, further shortening of the deltoid. So let's look at another thing as well. Positioning of the dumbbells in relation to your head, okay, from a side-on view. You want the dumbbells to be directly above your head. Not pushing too far forward and not pushing behind you, okay? If you push too far forward out in front of you, gravity is going to pull the dumbbell down and cause rotation in your shoulder, which you don't want to happen. It's going to cause a lot of strain and you're going to damage it. Okay, you have to concentrate and press directly above your head. Down, press above your head. Not pushing forward and not pushing behind your head, okay? One more thing I'd say about the overhead press is symmetry is so important, okay? The right side needs to do exactly what the left side is doing. Not only from a front-on direction, but sideways as well. You don't want to be pressing in some funky little direction like this, or pressing with one arm moving in a different direction to the left one. You're going to end up with imbalances and one shoulder bigger than the other. Right, another exercise that many people get wrong is the dumbbell lateral raise. Now, a little bit of basics about the shoulder. You have your front delt, mid delt and rear delt. Now, naturally, because of a lot of pressing which people do, whether it's horizontal or vertically, people will have a stronger front delt and bigger front delt compared to the mid and rear delt. In fact, the rear delt tends to be almost non-existent in comparison to the front delt. So, when doing a lateral raise, myself and when I train my clients, I want them to focus and target on the mid delt. So in order to do that, you need to pay attention to not only the angle of your torso, okay, so whether I'm leaning forward or leaning back, but the position of your hands, okay, how you're holding the dumbbell. If I'm not really thinking about it, when most people do this in the gym, more often than not, because the front delt is strongest, naturally, as they bring the dumbbell up, the dumbbell will be pointing towards the ceiling. However, when this is happening, all the tension is on my front delt. What I want to do is probably angle my torso forward ever so slightly, so I'm not leaning back on the bench, I'm not slouching like that, I'm actually leaning away from it. As I bring the dumbbell up, I'm either keeping it flat or I may need to point it down ever so slightly. You have to really assess the situation yourself and start with very light weights, okay? As you bring the dumbbells up to the side, look at your shoulder and think, right, okay, where is the tension being placed? Okay, naturally, it will most likely be on the front delt, so you need to change, like I said, the angle of the torso and the position of the dumbbell. I would either keep your hands flat or even point them downwards slightly. Now, as you go through a set, you will start to fatigue and your body will like to go through the path of least resistance. So your body will almost force you to push the dumbbells toward the ceiling and use your front delt. You have to try as hard as possible not to do that. Maintain that strong posture and form. And even if you can't bring the dumbbells all the way up to the top, just bring them halfway. There's nothing wrong with doing half of a rep. You're still working the area of the delt which you want to target, which is the middle. Don't allow yourself to work all of the front delt just so you can bring the dumbbells all the way up to the top position. Okay? And of course, another vital thing which you don't want to be doing, don't use loads of momentum. Okay? If you're just leaning forward, swinging back, leaning forward, swinging back, you're making it so easy for yourself and you're incorporating a load of other muscles which you don't really need to be targeting. You want to completely isolate your delts when doing this, so stay still. Nothing should be moving. The only thing that should be moving is your arms, up and down, that's it. Don't go down, swing up, down, swing up. What is this? What is this all about? There's no need to do that, okay? You just see bodybuilders and other people doing it just so they can lift heavier weight, but they can do exactly the same thing with a lighter weight if they stay still. And you're actually going to just completely isolate the delt, okay? So bear that in mind. You see some people swinging it, right up, swing. Look, this isn't even doing anything for me. I'm just using pure momentum. Bring it up, pause, bring it down slowly, and just before you reach 90 degrees to the ground, bring up, down, just before your shoulders completely relax. Bring it back up again. That way you can work the muscle throughout the entire set and really take advantage of time and attention.